listeners, Harika here, and I'm super excited to welcome you to UppTalk. If you're ready to learn and get your hands work wonders in the world of information technology, then you're in the right place. When I say UppTalk, we are not just another edtech company. Consider we are your learning partner committed to unlocking your full potential. Whether you're stepping into the world of technology for the first time or looking to advance your career, we provide top-tier, hands-on courses to build up your career. Let's take our first step towards learning here and explore it.
Integration event can generate multiple status. Let's talk about the integration event status. Integration event status. Integration event status are like aborted, completed, then completed with warnings, completed with errors, failed, then not run due to exception on future processes. And then processing. We have these many integrations, event status. Aborted means, let's say, you ran the integration and you realize that you have passed incorrect parameters. You have passed incorrect parameters. In that case, if you want to abort the integration, you will be having access to abort the integration. This is something you will be able to configure in Core Connector Worker. You can put some validation. If something is not fulfilling the validation, then it will generate the errors. This is something mostly you will see when you will create the Studio integrations and Core Connector integrations with DT. Let's say if there is any integration in which you have configured to retrieve file, or deliver file, but the location which you have configured in the retrieval and delivery, that is not working. Let's say you have configured one as FTP folder where the integration has to retrieve the file or to deliver the files. Now let's say that FTP server is down. When that SFTP server is down, integration will not be able to connect to that server, and as integration is not able to connect to the server, integration is going to fail. The integration event status will be failed. Then another is not run due to exception on future process. These are the unexpected, exceptions. For example, let's say there is something wrong going on the Workday server, Workday data centers. Then you will be able to see this kind of issues. This is an unpredicted issue. You will not see this issue frequently, but when you will see, then you would need to, analyze the integration and relaunch the integration. Then the processing mode. Whenever you run the integration initially goes in the processing mode only. Once the processing is completed, then only integration generates all these users, whether completed with warnings, completed with errors about it, a fail also on. Always remember, these are the integration status. Completed means integration has not generated any kind of errors or warnings. Integration has been executed successfully. If integration is completed with warning, means there is something some of the validations are not passing. If integration is completed with errors, same if some validations are not passing. Then if integrations are failing means integration has stopped the execution itself. It has not processed anything. Any question in the integration event status? Okay. Now the next thing is how to access the integration events. Let's say you have created one integration. You are running the integration. Then how will you be able to access the integration event? There are three ways. Workday always gives multiple ways to access one item. Let's say one way I have already shown you, like you can just go to the integration and let me open the integration system again. This is one of the integration. This integration has been built on template based connectors. This is a connector based integration. The template used in this integration is core connector worker. In this integration, if you want to access integration event, there are multiple ways to access integration event. The one way is you can just open the integration system. In that integration system, you just click on the related action. This triple dot is related action. Then go to integration system, and in this integration system, you will find integration events. You can just click on integration event and it will show you all the integration events. Here, when I clicked on integration event, it is prompting something. There is something pop up in this pop up. Basically, it is asking whether you want to see integration events for this integration. If you want to see integration event for this integration event or some other integration event, you can just put the value here, and from when to when you want to see the integration event, you can put that value as well. If you want to see only failed integration event or only completed integration event or completed with either integration event, you will be able to add those integration event status here. Here, if you click, then you will be able to see multiple integration, event status, botted, completed, completed with warnings, failed, initiated, and all these things. Then by person. If you want to know like which person has executed integration, how many times, then you can just mention the by person and that will give you the integration events which has been executed by that person. For example, if I have created one integration, unless a login matinee is trying to run the integration I want to see, I got to know like login McNeil is running that integration. If I want to say like how many integration events login McNeil has executed, I will be able to see by giving the person name here. I will give here login McNeil. I will give started and in date, and then I'll get the integration events. Here I'm just getting the integration events. Click on this is one way of getting the integration event. This is one way of getting the integration events. You just go to the related action of integration, then go to integration system. In integration system, just click on integration events. The second way. I am coming back to home screen. This is my home screen. Now I know the integration name. See, whenever you join any company, you will remember all the integration names. That's it. That's the obvious thing. Let's say you already know the integration name and you want to understand the integration. You want to see the integration events for that integration system. What you can do is you can just directly go to the integration event. You just search for integration. See, there is one report which is integration events. You just click on this report integration event. that will pop up the same thing. See, this is also popping up, the same thing here. You just mention the integration name, you just click on, and it will also give you the integration events. There is one more way to get the integration events the name. The another way is if there is one more task process monitor. That's not task. Actually, that's a report. There is one more report process monitor. If you just go and click this process monitor, it will be having other options as well. Here the process monitor is holding the events of the report. Let's say you have created one report and you have scheduled that report. When you schedule that report, all those things will be tracked in process monitor. Basically, whatever you are running in Workday, everything is going to track in this process monitor. Here I'm just giving process. Time is equal to integration, and here in the process, I don't want to see the integration event for all the integration. I just want one integration, which is launch. In the process, you can give the integration name. Here is the integration name. Then you just click on, and here you go. Why it is not showing any integration events? Why it is not showing any running integration? The reason is here. If you see the from created date and time and the to created time, date and time is not matching. Basically, if you see this integration was executed on 10/19/2023, 10/19/20. Let's say let us just modify the timing. What's time is 10/19? Let me give 10/18/2023. Click. Here you go. You can see the integration events here as well. These requests are the integration events. This is the integration system name. If you click on this C, here is the integration event. There are three ways of integrate to act as an integration event. One is integration system name. Then go to the integration. Then you go to the organization function section. What do you root? Buys you the office integration dates and non-file is Japan integration, the price and any question. Now, the next is integration schedule. Next is integration schedule. Integration schedule is, let's say you have created one integration in 0/0/1. You created one integration. Now, what you want is you want this integration to execute every day at 9 p.m. Let's say IST. You want to execute this integration every day at 9 p.m. IST, if you want to schedule this every day, means it's not like you're logging every day at 9 p.m. and then you are executing this integration. 9 p.m. is not an official time. You are going to log off at 6 p.m. every day. You cannot just go in the system at 9 p.m. and check whether integration is running or not. What you will do in this case is basically you will schedule this integration. how exactly you can schedule this integration. Here, let me open the integration system. This is one of the integration system to a schedule. Integration Workday again offers multiple ways, but I'll show you the very simple ways. What you can do is if this is one of your integration, let's say CIB Poor Connector, whatever it is. If this is an integration system, you just go to the related action. Click on related action. Come on. In related action, if you go to integration, you will see one launch. Just launch this integration you. Here, when you launch integration, see here you are getting two options. Either you want to launch integration or if you want to schedule integration. How exactly you can launch integration and how exactly you can schedule integration. Here, if you see the run frequency, the integration system name is coming the run frequency. In the run frequency, it is saying run now. When you will click this, integration is going to be executed right now. Now let's say you don't want to run right now. You want to schedule this integration to run once in the future. What you can do is you can just close this. Just click on this. You will be having multiple options. You will be having multiple options. The options are run now, run once in future, minute occurrence, hourly offense, daily occurrence. You can schedule integration in any way you want. If you want this integration to execute this once in the future, you can just click on this. Run once in the future click. You can schedule when exactly you want this integration to be executed. I'll show you miss very slow. Here, if you see, this integration is having this many launch parameters. Here, to launch the integration, you need to pass those parameters. Just pass those parameters and then you can schedule. There is one tab, Schedule tab. In Schedule tab, you can define when exactly you want to run the integration. For example, the start date. Let's say if I keep the start date as 25th of June. On 25th of June, I want to run this integration at 9 p.m. Yes, 9 p.m. You IST say the time zone is Pacific time. I don't want Pacific time, I want India time zone. I'll just mention India here and then search for the time, tunes, Workday's offering for India. Let's say we have just one time. It will give just one time June. Call gather. This is our time June. This is one time June. I just selected this time zone. When you click on, let me just sorry, it was because of tenant slowness. What is it? In the integration, in the integration, in the integration criteria. See, all these parameters are not locked. on the 25th June at 9 p.m. IST, this integration is going to be executed using these many launch parameters. These many launch parameters, and if you will see like when exactly this will be executed, you will be able to see in this additional information. See, in that is no information. There is one section, next pane schedule launches, next 10 schedule launches, next 10 scheduler. See, there is no pane, schedule launches. I have just created the schedule to run this integration once in the future. That's why here you are able to see just one schedule. This integration will automatically execute on 25th of June, 9 p.m. ISD. This is how we schedule integrations. You can also select the I have selected run once in the future. You can select daily occurrence, minute occurrence, or weekly occurrence. You can select, and based on that, the schedule parameters will change. When we will create integration, we are going to schedule those integrations again. This is how we really used to schedule the integration. Now, let's say if you want to see if the integration is scheduled or not, if the integration is scheduled, you want to see when exactly that integration is being scheduled. How can you do that? Again, let me open the integration. There are two ways of getting the schedule information. The first way is again this. Open the integration system. Go to the related action of the integration system, then go to reports. In reports, you will be able to see one option, schedule future process. Schedule future process. You can just click on schedule future process here. See, it is asking for the recurrence, started recurrence, in that you can enter start date and end date. The start date and end date in which you want to see the schedule. That is something you can leave, and then in process you have to give the integration name, process type, or optional. If you will give, that's fine. If you don't give, that is also fine. Run frequency also is optional. If you give, that fine, otherwise you can just pass it on. If you want to just see the schedule of this integration, you can just pass the integration name, and then you will be able to see the schedule. Click on I have scheduled this integration to run once in the future. It will show that schedule. See, this is the schedule I have configured. If you will configure multiple schedule, you will be able to see multiple schedules here. And again, let's say this is the schedule timing, the next schedule date, and all end date, and all this is serving. Now, if you want to deep dive into the schedule, like who exactly has been, has created this, when exactly is the time of, run and all, then you can just click on the schedule process link, and here you will be having all the details. This is one way to view the integration schedule. There is another way. To check future processes, schedule future processes. We have one task, not ask, you can say one report. We have one report, schedule future processes. Here in the search, you can just directly mention schedule future process. Schedule future process. You can just click on schedule future process, and then again you will get the same pop up there. You need to give the integration name to the benefit. The benefit of navigating from the integration system is here. Everything will be auto-fill whatever is required item. See, when I directly search a schedule future process from the search bar here, it is popping up the same window. But here nothing is filled up here. I need to enter integration name manually here. If I say I empty 001, yes, I got the integration name. I will just select the integration name, then click. It will show you the same that the next schedule, future process. This is about the integration schedule now. Do you have any question in integration schedule? You can just go like related action of integration system, then go to integration system, then go, sorry, not integration system here. In this case, reports, then scheduled future process. This is one way. The another way is report, run the report. Run the report to schedule future process. These are the two options. We have to find out the integration schedule now. The next thing which we'll talk about in integration is change reduction, the full extract, and the change reduction. All this thing will come when we will actually create the integration and all here. I'm just clarifying some of the terminologies. Now let us just go with this change reduction. In this change reduction, what happens? Let's say you have one system Workday, which is source of truth, which is source. Then you are sending data to Concur. This is target system. Concur is a kind of expensive other reimbursement system. Every day is sending data from Workday to Concur. Every day is sending data from Workday to Concur. Now let's say in your company you have 25,000 employees. When you create an integration for the first time, let's say you created in 1001 Workday to Concur. Employee details outbound. Let's say you created this integration in 1001 Workday Concur employee details outbound. You created this integration. Now, when you create this integration on the very first day, what will happen? Workday is having 25,000 employees, 25,000 employees, 25,000 employees, and on the same day. And that is your company. See how labor and companies, his workers and family involved. There is still a very important today of the because there is no employees. Now you have to set profile for 20,000 employees. Set up profile for 25,000 employees in Concur again. Set up means to set up. You need to send worker details from Workday. Workday to Concur. You need to send worker details from Workday to Concur. Now, on very first day, as there is no employees in Concur and what you are sending, what Concur is expecting is first name, last name Xander, date of work, hired a manager ID, and is a name, manager, email, employee type, contact details, for example, let's say email address of employee and phone number of employee. These are the details Concur is expecting from Workday to create profiles and Concur. What you did is initially, as there is zero employees, there is zero profile set up in Concur, you need to set up profile for all the 25,000 employees. What you are going to do is you are going to extract full load, extract full all employee details on the first day and send to Concur. When you extracted all employees, it is in the first run and sent to Concur. What happens? Concur created all those profiles. Now, after processing this file, let's say this is employee.csv file. When Concur process this employee.csv file, in this case, after processing, what will happen? Workday will be having 20,000 employees and Concur is also having 25,000 employees. $25,000 employees, this is the first day. Now let us go to the second day. Basically none of the employee has made any changes. In this 20,000 employees, none of the employees have made any changes. Basically, these fields have not been changed for any worker in Workday. Now tell me one thing, if any of the changes are not happening in any worker profile, do we really need to send Concur any profile? See, the profiles are already created. These details are already stored for all those employees. Nothing is changing. If nothing is changing, we don't need to send any details to Concur. There. It doesn't mean like we are going to suspend the integration. What we will do? We will simply run the integration as a change detection. The change detection will detect if any of this field has been changed. Then the change detection will pick those employees and will send only those employees and will send only those employee details to Concur. Let's say on second day, 0 employees have updated details. On this particular day, the file will be having 0 records in employee.csv file. Now let us come on third day. Someone has mentioned something. No worries. Now third day. On third day, let's say 12 employees updated details in Workday. Only 12 employees have updated details in Workday. On the third day, when this integration will run, do we need to send all these 25,000 employees? No, see, there is nothing changing in 25,000 employees. We don't need to send 25,000 employees. It will unnecessarily consume the Workday resources, take the integration runtime, and generate one file unnecessary. It will create, issues for many in many ways. Basically, we don't need to generate data for 25,000 employees. See, let's say data is changing for only 12 employees. What we will do is we will generate data for only 12 employees and will send to data to Concur because apart from these 12 employees, all the data is correctly updated in Concur. All the data is correctly updated in Concur. The change detection means to identify changes between last integration run and current integration run and current integration run. Yes, identify the changes and extract the changes and generate file. Generate file for only impacted or modified employees. On third day, basically the employee.csv will be having only 12 records. Are you clear with the change detection, how exactly that happened? That is something. Next step. But are you able to understand the change detection? Shalini Karuna, what exactly change detection means? Ganesh, but what is the second step you're telling is zero employee. That means that there is a record is there, but the changes is not happening, right? If changes is not happening, we will send just blank file to Concur or just blank file. The existing data will be there. It's a kind of blank file. No, why is this? Existing data is existing. There is already data is already there in Concur, right? We don't need to send the same data again and again. This is, you just consider this as a performance perspective. Let's say you are running the same thing again and again. You are generating the same data again and again, processing them data again and again. See, nowadays nobody prefers that, right? If the data is not being if data is not changing, why even we know I need to process, I will not process, I'll just generate the blank file. If the data is changing for only 12 employees, I'll just generate data for only 12 employees, only 12. 12 employee details will be sent to Concur and only 12 employee details will be updated in Concur. But all good, yes, cool. Basically, this is what is change detection. Now, when we will talk about the change detection, see here, there are two things here. The first one, this is the first day. This is what we call full extract. This is full extract. And the next day onwards, when we are running the integration, we are identifying the changes between the last one and the current run. These are delta extract. We will call those as delta extract. This is a delta extract or delta file or change detection file. This is again delta or change detection file. Now, when we talk about the change detection, then we need to talk about the launch parameters as well, what we generally keep in the launch parameters. The integration is detecting the changes. Mainly when you will talk about the full extract and delta file. Mainly this refers in the connector-based integrations. We discussed about the EIB integration. We discussed about the connector-based integration. This is something we are going to get. The connector-based integration, you can also create some EIB, is where you can generate the delta. But connector-based templates, they offer this change that a detection mechanism by default. For example, if you create any integration using core connector worker template, then core connector template gives us flexibility to use launch parameters to just detect changes between the two integration runs or between the two time frames. Those parameters are change detection launch parameters. Change detection launch parameters. Change detection launch parameters. There are four main parameters: as of entry moment, then as of effective date, then last successful. As of entry moment, then last successful effective date, effective date. This will be the four parameters. That is going to define the integration parameters, and that will define the change detection timeframes. Here you can see there are four parameters. One is last successful effective date, last successful as of entry moment, then as of effective date, and then as of entry moment. This last successful effective date and last successful as of entry moment. This comes from the last integration run. This comes from the last integration run. And these as of entry moment and as of effective date. You can put whatever time you want to. You know you want to give. Let's say this is something like this one. If you want to extract, like whatever transaction has been entered from 2nd of June to 3rd of June. If you want to get all the transactions entered in between 2nd of June to 3rd of June, and then the last successful effective date, and as of effective date now, let's say, if you want, this is something for entry moment. Earlier, I explained the worker history. In the worker history, there are transaction completed date time, a completed date and time, and there is effective date. There can be transaction which is entered on 2nd of June, entered on 2nd of June. Third date is in June. Third date is in June. Effective date is in June. Third date is 10th of June. There can be transactions which has been entered on 2nd of June, but the effective date is 1st of June. There can be transactions entered in worker profile, which is like entered on, say, entered on 2nd June, entered on 2nd June, and the effective date is 2nd of June. June entered on 2 June was because the effect is 10th of June. Entered on 2 June, but the effect is the 1st of June, and then entered on 2 June, but the effective date is 2nd of June. Here you can pass the effective date from when to when all these transactions are injured on the same day, 2nd of June. When you will check the last successful as of entry moment and as of implement. All these three records are satisfying. All these three records are satisfying because all the transactions have been entered on 2nd of June, and we are trying to extract the data where the transaction has been entered in between 2nd of June to 3rd of June. Here you can mention what effective date you want. Effective date, as in, let's say you are running today. You want to get the data till today's effective date. Let's say today is 21st June. Let's say you are running this integration on the 3rd June, only run on 3rd June. You want to get the data which is becoming effective, in fact, effective in between 2nd June to 3rd June. Here again, in last successful effective date also, you can give us 2nd June. And as of effective date, you can give us a 3rd June. When you will pass the last successful effective date as a 2nd June and as of effective date at 3rd June with the entry moment, whatever we discuss, then only this record will be picked. These records will be excluded. This record will also be picked. The 2nd June and the 1st June record will be big, but the 10th June record will not be picked. This is picked because this is satisfying. The eligibility transaction has been entered on in between 2nd to 13/13, and the effective date is also in between the 2nd to 13. This transaction will come because this is a positive transaction. Now the transaction is entered with the past effective date. This is a past effective date. This was entered on 2nd June with past effective date. In this case, this transaction will also come in the integration. This standard transaction is not going to come in the integration because the effective date is in the future. When 10th of June will come, then this integration, this transaction will be picked up. We are going to explore more about this when we will create the core connector integration, but a high level. You just understand. You need to pass all these 4 parameters if you want to detect the changes between 2 time frames. You the last successful will try. Will actually determine the start date and time, and as of entry moment and as of effective date will determine the in date and time. You can consider this as a start date and time and this as a in date and time. Any question in this one now? The next is integration notification. Integration notification. I'll just explain integration notification, then I'll just stop for today. In integration notification, let's say you want to get notified. Basically, here there are multiple integration events completed with the years completed with warnings. Now you want to get notified whenever integration is generating any errors or warnings or integration is failed. You want to get notified by your Workday inbox if there is. This is what the inbox. Right there is what the inbox. There's notification and then you will be having email as well. If you want to get notified when the integration is completing with errors and warning what they is giving. One mechanism where you can just configure those notifications, how exactly that works is, let me open this integration again. Then go to the related action of the integration system. Here you will see one option, configure integration notification. Just click on this. Configure integration notification. Here, if you see, whenever you want this integration to trigger any kind of notification, you can configure. If you want to get notification when the integration is launched, you can just click on Integrate Trigger on Launch. You will be able to get the notification whenever that integration will be launched by someone. Now, you don't want the integration to generate during launching time. See, integration is running. If it is running successfully, I don't want to get any notification. I just want to get notification whenever integration is completing with errors warnings or integration is failing. Because if integration is successfully completing, then it's successfully delivering files and all it's doing, it's working perfectly fine, unnecessary. I don't want those kind of things in my email. But whenever integration generating any kind of errors, warnings, or integration is failing, I want notification to be triggered in my email box that I just go in the integration event. I check what is the issue. I check the issue. If there is any action required, I'll take that. I'll take that action. If no action is required, I'll just leave that part. That is something you will be able to do using trigger on status. Here there is another option, trigger on status. When you select Trigger on Status and click on this, you will get all the integration status. Now I want whenever integration is not completed, whenever integration is completing with errors warnings, a failed not run due to exceptions on future process, then only I want to get the notification. You just mention in whatever status you want to get the notification. I just want to get the notification when integration is completing with these many status. There. Here you can configure the email address if you want the notification to be sent in your email address. You can configure this email address. By the way, when you will try, this is not going to trigger any notification in your email address because for learning, tenant SMTP is disabled. You won't. You won't be able to test that, but you will be able to test that, but you will use your status. My YouTube channel is configured, but you will process your template. I show you how to use the template when we will create the integration. Here, if you want to get the notification on your email address, you just configure those email address here. Whenever integration is completing with this many status, this will trigger one email notification and you will be able to see that you will be able to get that in your email box. If you want to send that notification to a security group, let's say you want to get notification for integration admin, you want to send this notification to all the integration admin. When integration is completing this many hitters, you can select the security group and automatically, whenever integration is completing with this many status, it will trigger notification to the integration admin. Here you can give the individual name as well. If you want to share the notification with that person, then the next thing, how exactly? We know you want that integration to generate a body. I mean, what will be the content of the notification? Here, this is a subject line. Whatever you will configure in the subject line, you will be able to get that in the integration notification. You can add multiple lines. You can use some phrase which is already there in Workday. You can define your own takes as well, whatever string you want to enter. Here you are going to design the subject of the notification and then in the body of the notification, you can also look at the body of the notification. Here, if you see there is another tab body. In body, if you click, see, there are many other options here, many things. Whatever way you want to configure the body, you will be able to put the body using this option. Here you will be able to configure the subject. Here you will be able to configure the body. This is how. If you want to attach something, let's say integration documents, and all you will be having option of attachment here. This is how you do. You design the integration notification. This is how you design the integration. Subject, this is an integration notification. Subject. This is how you design the integration notification body. Here you exactly configure who exactly should receive those notifications. Here you configure info for what are all the integration status you want to trigger the notification. You will be able to configure integration notification in this. Any question? Then I'm shopping till here only and then we can. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@uptalk.com.